I am wearing my favorite dress for today, and I know that a dress is just an aesthetic thing and that we tend to see aesthetics as something superficial and perhaps unimportant. Yet, this is what the world sees and what gives you a first impression of me. Especially as a child, what others think of you has quite an impact. Do you remember ever feeling uncomfortable because of how you looked compared to the other kids? And I'm asking this question because I work with children with microtia or peanut ear, which is a condition in which the external part of the ear isn't fully developed. So it's basically a chunk of tissue where the ear is supposed to be, but it doesn't look like an ear at all, and it makes these kids feel unpleasantly different. So can we still say that aesthetics is unimportant? I mean, if something happens to our face, something happens to our identity, to our self-esteem and our confidence, how we look really does matter. We can make these children a new ear. But did you know that your ear is as unique as your fingerprint? It has this very complex shape with all these mountains and valleys and twists and turns. But this also makes it really hard to make a new one with surgery. What if I tell you that there may be another way? That we can make an authentic looking ear of actual living tissue from scratch. Let me tell you what I do in the lab. I print ears, 3D print. And 3D printing is a super cool technology with which we can build things up from the ground in a layer by layer fashion. And we can use all these different materials and control where we place them in a three-dimensional space. Sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? Well, the concept is in fact quite simple. When I put human cells in a pudding-like material, I can actually print them. And then I can stimulate these cells to produce a completely new tissue. But this pudding that they're in is not very strong. So I also print a grid of fibers inside the pudding to end up with something similar to reinforced concrete that we have in the foundations of our homes. But in this case, it's alive. There are a lot of challenges still before this becomes reality. Yet, I believe that this amazing technology can someday help children with microtia to feel complete. So I say yes to the dress and yes to a 3D printed ear.